James Twin for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire, and y'all know the rest. This is, in fact, my Marquis Taylor versus Ivan Pandzic post-fight review, and your result of the fight is a Marquis Taylor clear, unanimous decision victory. So Marquis Taylor runs his record up to 18-1-2, and he continues his slow but steady climb up the middleweight rankings. You know, I think with that win, he should be probably more than likely entering the middleweight rankings because the WBC said at the convention that they would rank him number 19 for now, but that if he won his fight, that he would probably be ranked in the top 15. So he won his fight, so expect him to crack the top 15 in the near future. But as far as this fight is concerned, a lot of layers to peel. So we'll start with the fight itself first. Ivan Pandzic is a fighter that, you know, he has a good record on paper, 15-1-2. But when you check under the hood, he's fought fighters like Quentin Randall a couple years ago, lost to him. He fought Maurice Lee a couple years ago, had a draw. Many years ago, had a draw with him. He hasn't really been a guy that, you know, I would classify as a top contender or anything like that, or even like a fringe contender. You know, he's just a guy who's trying to get his career on track. And, you know, good, solid, competent professional, a live body, live competition. I mean, he did drop Marquis Taylor, but just outclassed and just didn't really have the footwork or the know-how to solve a real awkward, rangy style with the high output like Marquis Taylor. So I give Pandzic his credit. He did drop Marquis Taylor, and he did take this fight on short notice because Marquis Taylor had another opponent. They pulled out. So he gets credit for that, for having the courage and for having the belief in himself to try to win on short notice, but it just wasn't to any avail. And, you know, it's boxing. You know, him and Marquis Taylor, they shared a prayer after the fight, so I really enjoyed that part of the fight. You know, God bless both of them for getting out the ring safely. But let's talk Marquis Taylor because, yeah, I remember a couple years ago when he fought Yovas Gomez, he took Yovas Gomez's O. You know, then he kind of went quiet. You know, he was calling out Tim Tszyu, and you know, he just hadn't really been able for the longest time to get his career moving the way you should after beating an undefeated guy like Yovas Gomez, who was pegged to do all these big things in boxing. So now he's got Shawn Porter in his corner. It looks like he's going to break the top 15 of the middleweight rankings. And he's a tough out. I mean, Marquis Taylor, 6'3", for those that don't know, 6'3" middleweight. Not, you know, an outside fighter or anything like that, but does have a good solid jab, which is improving as his career progresses. But his thing is like his volume, his output, his physicality. These are the things that I think make him a tough guy to beat. Very awkward too. So I think volume and physicality is where I think the Shawn Porter influence is going to pay big dividends, because he can take those qualities that Marquis already has in his style, that's already gotten him to this point in his career where he's a fringe contender, now about to be a full-fledged contender, and he can amplify those things and make them, you know, very good qualities and making them great qualities, making qualities that he can really impose at the world level on world-level fighters. So that's why I think Shawn Porter could play a role. As far as Shawn Porter's, this was Shawn Porter's trainer debut, which, you know, it kind of came out of left field. It happened so fast. Like 1 minute Shawn was just doing the Put Away podcast, and now he's just training Marquis Taylor. So I gotta really talk to him about that, how that all came along. Because funny enough, Shawn Porter probably doesn't even remember this, but 2 years ago when we were in Colorado for the amateur to interview the USA amateurs, I remember we were interviewing Roscoe Hill, who was on the Olympic team. And Roscoe Hill, I told Roscoe Hill that, you know, you kind of fight like Marquis Taylor, and Marquis Taylor and Roscoe Hill are kind of like are from the same area. And at the time, I was with Shawn Taylor to my right and Shawn Porter to my left. Neither one of them really knew who Marquis Taylor was, but I knew Marquis Taylor was because I just watched boxing like a degenerate. So it's funny now that Shawn is training him, because I remember that moment very clearly from being in Colorado. And as far as him as a coach, you know, Shawn Porter is a great communicator. That's why he's been able to do well as a commentator. It's why he's able to do well in his life with his personal relationships and people he knows. It's why he's so likable. He wasn't just an elite fighter, but he's an elite communicator, and he has a lot of big fight experience and experience in general from the amateurs that he can give to a Marquis Taylor. So when I was listening to Shawn give instructions, It was a lot of like encouragement. You know, I think he pushed the right buttons at the right time. When Marquis Taylor had banked like 6-7 rounds in a row, he told Marquis Taylor what he wanted to do. He said, "Hey, I want you to move on this guy now. Get him to come to you. How do you feel about that, big dog?" Marquis gave his feedback, you know, to Shawn, and they were able to communicate very well and very effectively. So I think Shawn Porter having an elite level of experience in boxing, along with him being an elite communicator, that's a combination for being a really good trainer. And I think for Shawn, it's beautiful because Shawn Porter's been retired for 3 years now, and I know for athletes and fighters, it's life after boxing is hard because boxing's all you know. Being in the ring, being that man in the arena, you want to always be a part of that because that feeds a part of your soul that nothing else can feed. And you know, I think Shawn Porter's done a great job with the media side and commentating and the YouTube channel. But I just know how fighters are. There's that part of his soul that wants to really, really be as much in the game as possible, as much in the ring as possible, you know, without being in the ring because he is retired now. So I think this is great for him. I think this is going to be something that he really is going to give him new life, and he seems to really be taking it on and enjoying it. And I think Marquis Taylor and Shawn Porter have similar mindsets. I think it's going to be a great thing because I think Marquis Taylor now, with Shawn Porter being in his corner, this is actually good for Marquis from even a promotional standpoint, just apart from boxing, right? Apart from boxing, this is good for Marquis Taylor from a promotional standpoint because now he's got Shawn Porter behind him, you know, one of the most well-respected fighters in American boxing and just in boxing, period, over the last, you know, decade or so because he fought everyone. He didn't duck no smoke. He was always in great fights. He's a multiple-time world champion. So who doesn't love Shawn Porter? If you don't love Shawn Porter, you don't love boxing. So overall, really good performance. Marquis Taylor in the post-fight interview called out Austin Emma Williams, who's also from Texas, because Marquis is from Texas. That's a good fight. You know, Emma can punch. Emma's are really explosive. Emma got taken apart by Hamza Shiraz's last fight. I think Marquis Taylor would be a very, very live opponent in that fight. I might even pick Marquis in that fight just because, you know, if Emma can't land the big shot, he's not going to outbox Marquis and he's not going to outwork Marquis. So that's just going to be about can Emma land the big shot or not, you know? And I think that's a fight where Marquis will disarm the puncher and probably drain Emma Williams. You know, I think Emma Williams will be gassed out within 7 to 8 rounds against Marquis. And Marquis might even break him down late and stop him or take him the distance and outwork him. But I like the fight. It's really intriguing fight, and I think it's a good fight for Emma Williams because Marquis is on that level where now he's a contender. He's top 15, and you know it's a crossroads fight of sorts. You know, so if Emma can beat him, Emma's right back there, back in the title contention straight away. So yeah, it's a good fight. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Marquis Taylor, his fight against Ivan Pandzic, Shawn Porter as a trainer, Marquis calling out Emma Williams. So you guys can leave your thoughts down below. Shout out to Marquis Taylor. And yeah, like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here.
Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.